Trump administration is giving a huge just giveaway to the pharmaceutical industry. In particular, this pharmaceutical company, Gilead Sciences, has developed a potential drug that could help treat the coronavirus. It's called remdesivir. Correct me if I'm wrong, I might not be pronouncing that right. And so the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, gave this drug the Orphan Status, which basically is only given to drugs that are used to treat really rare illnesses that affect less than 200,000 people in the U.S. a year. Excuse me. And so the FDA was able to give it to this drug that was developed by Gilead Sciences because at the time, due to our lack of testing and just our horrible public health and healthcare system, we've only, tested so many people. And so we only have basically, it's like 40 or 50,000 people in the US who have tested positive for the coronavirus. So that's why the FDA, in this really shady, backhanded way, was able to give this orphan status to this drug, this remdesivir drug that was developed by Gilead. And so the implications for this are really troubling. So Gilead now has the exclusive rights to this drug for 7 years, and so they'll exclusively profit off of that, off of this orphan drug status. And now what's really sinister is also they can block other drug companies from developing generic versions of this drug. That might be obviously less expensive. So they'll basically be able to charge whatever price they want for this potentially life-saving drug that could really help people out during this pandemic. And so it's just, really sick and disgusting, and why it shows there needs to be no profit motive whatsoever in healthcare and developing, these pharmaceutical drugs, because when that profit motive is there, it will always be used to gouge, the people who need those medications the most. And oftentimes, they're not going to be able to afford it because this company and companies like it want to jack up their stock prices so they can benefit the corporate board and the executives and the CEO, the shareholders and whatnot. So it's just really another example of why we need to take the profit motive out of developing these potentially life-saving drugs and just get it out of the whole public health and healthcare realm as well. And again, this company, Gilead Sciences, is profiting off the U.S. taxpayer, off of government funding, because they received at least $79 million from the U.S. government. So from us, the U.S. taxpayer, the working people, to develop this drug, and now they have this exclusive rights to profit off it from 7 years. While they got our money to develop it, now they're going to have the exclusive rights to just totally rake people over the coals for this potentially life-saving drug that can help people, combat and heal from this coronavirus. And again, it's just really sick and disgusting, and it just shows, that the Trump administration does not literally care if you live or you die. They're more concerned with, making sure that this Gilead Sciences, that this pharmaceutical company is able to profit off of this pandemic. And again, it's just really sick and disgusting. And I mean, again, if you're supporting Donald Trump at this point and you're not part of the billionaire owner class, you are voting against your own self-interest. The only candidate running who actually will stand up and give a voice for the working people and to make sure that policies, platforms, are advocated for that actually help the working class and doesn't help them, or doesn't hurt them, I should say, is Bernie Sanders. And he was quick to, call this out, how any treatment for the coronavirus needs to be free. Obviously, that is the completely correct response to have. And, you see the Trump administration response and the FDA, it's like, nope, doesn't need to be free, even though the U.S. taxpayers helped fund the research that developed this potential treatment of the coronavirus. Doesn't matter. This, we're super corrupt, and this pharmaceutical company needs to be able to make money off of people's pain and suffering during a pandemic. That's how messed up our system is, and just shows how completely bought and paid for the Trump administration and a lot of politicians are in fact bought and paid for by special interests, by these lobbyists, by these corporations, and it's really sick and disgusting. And that's why we need somebody like Bernie Sanders in the White House who actually stand up and fight for people like you and me, and who isn't in the pocket of the health insurance or pharmaceutical industry or big oil and gas or whatever it is. So again, the choice couldn't be any clearer. It's Bernie or it's 4 more years of Trump, and the U.S. and the world can obviously not afford that at this time at all. So Bernie 2020, not me.